So today we will try to understand law of karma. What is karma? How it influences my present actions and how law of karma applies for my day-to-day actions and reactions and how it influences my future also. So let us understand with the live example. Have you ever wondered why bad things happens to good people? Sometimes we may see that some good people still undergoing bad situations, either financial crisis or health or any all sorts of situations that they are going into. Even though they are good, but something bad happens suddenly. And why some people are born rich by birth and some are born poor by birth. So who decides our father and mother? We don't have choices. It's just given to us. So who decides our skin color? So these are some of the open questions, right? So who governs this? This is governed by karma. So five major important topics from Bhagavad Gita are Jiva, that is soul, and Ishvara, Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Prakriti, that is nature, that where we are living in, it is controlled by Prakriti, that is modes of material nature, that is Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And the fourth is Karma, the activity a Jiva, a soul, performs while living in this material world, that is nature, according to the Kala, that is time. So, a soul living in this Prakriti, that is material nature, performs a particular activity under the influence of Kala, time, and controlled, governed by Ishvara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, this sums up to the five core elements that one has to understand in life. So, today we are focusing on karma. So, imagine there is a farmer who is praying to the Lord for rains. He has his dependents family to feed, so he is dependent on rains. That's where he can do his farming properly and then earn money and then feed his family. While on the other side, a pot maker is praying for sunshine. He doesn't want rains. So it's contrary to the what farmer is praying for. So if these two proposals are in front of God, which one to fulfill? So this is a contradictory situation. So what Krishna has created is that he created a system called as law of karma. That means which results to be given to whom at what particular time is completely governed by law of karma, the system. So whatever good that particular person does, he will get the good results. And whoever is doing the bad karma, they will get the bad results in the near future. So according to that, a particular thing, a particular happiness or distress or a situation are given to that particular person in that particular life according to the past karmas. So now let us try to deep dive and understand what is karma. Karma means activity. It can mean an action and its reaction also. So a system of action and reaction altogether is known as law of karma. So every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So good actions get us a good reactions and happiness like pious deeds, and bad actions gets us the bad reactions. So as we sow the seed, in that way we will get the fruits. If we sow the seed of mango, we will get the mango fruits. So it is very natural. And now in this material world, in the Prakriti which we are living in, there are total of 8.4 million species, like which includes reptiles, animals, fish, aquatics, and birds, and animals, and human beings. So we are naturally a spirit soul. We are part and parcel of Krishna. But having fallen into this material world, we are bound to take birth amongst this 8.4 million species. That means a soul gets a body of an animal or bird or reptiles according to its karma. So according to our present karma, it determines the next body. So whatever good, bad that we do as a karma in this present life, this will be the base for the next body. So in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, 22nd verse, Krishna says that just as one gives up an old shirt to put on a new one, the soul gives up an old body to acquire a new kind of a body. Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya. So thus there are 8.4 million species that the soul has to change those bodies 8.4 million species times, and then he gets the body of human life. So human life is a very, very rare life where he can start inquiring about this karma. Why am I going through this 8.4 million species of changing the bodies? And is there a way to overcome this cycle of birth and death? Is there a way or solution to break this chain of repeated birth and death cycle? Can I go back eternally to the home where I belong to from this material world? Is only in this human body that is possible. So now let us try to understand what are three kinds of karmic accounts that we have. As we discussed that after passing through 8.4 million species, on each body we have performed certain set of actions, certain set of karma that we did. In the while we were in the body of fish, we did some certain kind of activities. We had some children, we had did some activity, good or bad. That reaction account, it gets added into some account that is called as sanchit karma. So over the period of 8.4 million species, whatever we have spent, this has become a storehouse of all the karmic account. So that is called as sanchit karma. That means it's a total storehouse of all karma, good and bad reactions we have accumulated over this countless past lives. So whatever past lives we have spent, all the storehouse of the karmic reactions are stored in sanchit karma. Just like a storehouse having the heavy bunch of different files, in the similar way, or various different lives of karmic account is stored at one storehouse. That is called as sanchit karma. And what is prarabdha karma? Prarabdha karma is some portion of this whole storehouse, just like one single file, that is been given to us in this present life to experience. So sanchit karma holds all the good and bad reactions of all our past karmas. So amongst that, some portion of good and bad karma is given to us in this life to experience it, to bear it, because it is our karma. We have to clear the karma. Hence, prarabdha is something which is given to us in this present life. It is assigned to us from sanchit karma. Now, what is kriyamana karma? Kriyamana karma is something which is being created now. The actions that you are doing in this present life, whose results will affect the future. So the present, whatever actions we are doing, whatever decisions we are making and taking and actions against our present situation is writing a new file, which will again get added into the sanchit. Let us also understand with one more example. Imagine a pot with full of water filled in for our daily use. So we fill up the whole bunch of water in the pot container. So the complete filled in water container is called as sanchit karma. That means heavy amount of water, that's heavy amount of karmic reactions of so many lifetimes is just like this water which is in the container whole. And we cannot drink that whole water at once, right? So the similar way, some portion of that water is taken out through this tap, that is known as prarabdha karma. So this prarabdha karma is a combination of good and bad reactions that we have to experience in the present life. And how does that translates to? So prarabdha karma is the one, it comes in where we are going to take birth, how we are going to take birth, what is the birth time, death time, how long we are going to be alive, and what is the scope of wealth, health, career, and relationships, what all people that we are going to encounter, and through relationships, wealth and health and career and relationships, what are the good and bad that things, that situations that we may encounter and experience this good and bad in them. So all this experience we have to bear for this particular life. It comes through prarabdha. And the new water that we are going to fill it from the top is called as kriyamana karma, which gets again added into the sanchit karma account, the whole file. Now let us try to understand in more details what kind of varieties of prarabdha karma evolves. So prarabdha karma, because of the prarabdha, someone is born as black, someone is born as white, somebody is disabled, somebody is very fit, Somebody is lazy, somebody is born with talent, and somebody is born rich to a rich person. Somebody is born to a poor by birth and he has to live the life long with poverty. And some children lose their parents early in their life. Some parents lose their children at the early age when the child is very small. So these are the situations that comes to our life as a prarabdha. Because of our prarabdha, we may lose parents at the early age. We may be born as poor. So all these are because of the prarabdha. And because of our prarabdha, sometimes someone may be a very scholarly person achieving the scholarship and doing the excellent in schools and education, and someone who is like a dog who is enjoying the luxury in the luxurious car, and the dog which is in the street, although both are same dogs, but somebody is enjoying the luxury because of prarabdha and somebody is suffering on the street. Now let us understand with an example from the Mahabharata. So in Mahabharata, Dhritarashtra lost 100 sons. So when he wanted to know why did this occur to me, Dhritarashtra along with his wife, that is Gandhari, they were confused. Why did this happen to us? We lost 100 sons. They wanted to know the reason. They went to Krishna and inquired, "O Lord, there cannot be anyone in this world who is as unfortunate as me. I was born blind. I never saw my children's face. I don't know how they looked like. I never did anything wrong in my life. I was limited to blindness. Why did I still have to go through this terrible punishment? What did I do wrong?" This is exactly what Dhritarashtra inquired from Krishna. Then Krishna beautifully consoles and explains to Dhritarashtra that he first quotes the verse from Bhagavad Gita 4.5. The personality of Godhead said, "Many, many births, both of you and I have passed. Both of you and I have passed." That means Krishna is referring to us, the Jivas. We have gone through so many, many, many births. I can remember all of them, but you cannot remember, O subduer of enemy. Krishna is clearly indicating that we do not have the capability to remember all the past lives, memories, and karmic account. Only Krishna can remember this, and he is aware of the complete karmic account of each and every life, whatever we did. How? Krishna is present in the heart of every living being, 8.4 million species, in the form of Paramatma, who is sitting in the heart. Just like on the street, we may see the CCTV camera who is governing the traffic, the vehicles movement, those who are breaking the rules or following the rules. It is exactly in the same way Paramatma, who is sitting in the heart, is observing, he is aware of our words, actions, and what thoughts we have. So all this is being tracked by Paramatma. And according to the law of karma, everything is implemented on us. The good and bad is given to us according to the law of karma. So there is a whole system of law of karma that governs. So then Lord Krishna then granted Dhritarashtra the divine vision to look back into these previous births to find out what was gone wrong. So when Dhritarashtra discovered that 50 births back, he was a ruthless hunter, and once he went near a tree and there were full of birds. So he threw a burning net on a tree and then he caused 100 young birds to be burnt at death. And the remaining birds managed to escape, but they became blind due to the scorching heat caused by this fire. So due to the effect of Sanchit Karma, he was destined to remain blind in this life and also lose 100 sons. So that's how it affected that karma which he performed 50 years before, and now it was affecting. So Dhritarashtra then asks, why that punishment was not given in the same life where I did that wrong? Then Krishna further explains that your karma had to wait for an opportune time for 50 births, during which time you could earn and accumulate the enough pious deeds to attain the merit of being born as a king and have 100 sons in one lifetime. So the answer is that he had to wait for 50 lives to acquire the good deeds so that he can become a good king or a king so that he has sufficient punya to get 100 sons. So that he acquired in those 50 births, and then when the right time came, he got 100 sons, and that karma came it as a prarabdha karma. So every action has equal and opposite reactions. Nobody can escape. So Krishna says in this regards in chapter 4 verse 17, the intricacies of actions are very hard to understand. Therefore one should know properly what is action, that is karma, what is forbidden action, that is vikarma, and what is inaction, that is akarma. Because when we arrive to a situation or conditions of our life, when we encounter good and bad, we might get perplexed or confused whether it is because of karma, whether because of situations, etc. So it is very difficult to understand. This is what Krishna is trying to explain us. So in that situation, what Krishna is focusing is that in that situation, please try to understand what is your karma, what is vikarma, and what is akarma, because that is something which is in your control. Because whatever sin or path what we did in the past, it is gone. So some prarabdha from the sanchit will come to us in this life as a situation, but how we respond or react to that particular situation is our kriyamana karma, so that we are going to do the new karma. So whatever new karma that we do, it has to be a good karma. So for that we need to understand what is karma, vikarma, and akarma. So what is kriyamana karma? Kriyamana karma is the present ongoing karma. That means kriyamana karma in this example of Dhritarashtra, that having lost 100 sons, so is he going to blame and then do again some bad activities, or realize, understand, and then choose the right option to do in a dharmic way? So kriyamana is the present ongoing karma that we are doing, the actions that you are doing right now, the conscious choices and intentions that we keep to perform any action on a day-to-day basis. So that karma that is being created in the present moment, it directly shapes our future experiences. So according to prarabdha, whatever situations and people, place we are placed into, how we react to certain situation based on our free will and choices we make will determine our destiny. So our destiny is not completely fixed. Based on whatever prarabdha we have got our situations of life, how we do our next karma according to our free will and choices will determine our destiny. So we are the creators of our own destiny. So what is free will? Free will is the freedom that every individual person has to choose what to do, what not to do. Nobody can control and decide to say you have to do this or that. It is an individual who can choose to decide what can be done, what cannot be done. So let us understand what is free will. Free will is the most important thing that plays a crucial role in kriyamana karma. So it is a conscious ability to choose how to think, how to act, and how to react. There are situations that occurs in our life because of prarabdha, but what we think, how we act, that creates our new karma. So for to think, we need to have a divine knowledge. We need to train our mind in acting in a dharmic way. So despite the outer circumstances being fixed to a degree by prarabdha karma, your free will that you have will still determine this, what kind of choices you are going to make, whether you are going to respond to certain situations and people in a positive way or in a negative way. So if we respond in a negative way, which is again further going to create karma and bind us in this cycle of birth and death. If we respond in a positive way, in a spiritual way, which is going to clear off our karma and helps us to develop pure love for Krishna and going back to Godhead and break this cycle of birth and death. Now, at the beginning of the Gita, Arjuna was overwhelmed with sorrow and refuses to fight in the Kurukshetra war. His prarabdha has actually created a situation that certain time of life of Arjuna, some battle will happen and he will arrive to a situations like this. So prarabdha brought him to the battlefield. Now, in this battlefield situation, he has his free will. That is his freedom to choose what to do, what not to do. So, according to that particular time, Arjuna was completely overwhelmed with his personal emotions. He was overwhelmed with personal affection to his family members. He forgot the dharma of a warrior, Kshatriya, and then he wanted to walk away. So he tried to choose a negative way of response. He wanted to walk away, influenced by emotion and attachment. But then Krishna intervened. He gave the divine knowledge. Again Arjuna, who gave up his Gandiva and fell down, the same Arjuna, he stood up when he was equipped with the divine knowledge by the mercy of Krishna. Then he again utilized his free will to choose the right response. That is to act according to the dharma and fight. So let us try to look at some real life examples of how prarabdha karma influences and the role of free will and the choices in kriyamana karma. So somebody is born in a poor family is his prarabdha. So if you are born into poverty, you will have a limited access to education and resources. So in that situations, our free will, we have two choices. Either we can work hard or seek scholarship and gain skills, or we relentless, very resentful, and then stay blaming your destiny and others. That why am I born in this poor family, etc. So then Kriyamana karma results in, if we do it in a right way, that is work hard and then seek the scholarship, then we may lift you out. Then the situation, the kriyamana karma will lift you out of the poverty and change the future circumstances. So you have the power to work hard and seek scholarship, thereby you can overcome the poverty. It does not mean that prarabdha has got you poor, you will remain poor forever. It is your hard work and your free will choices that we make, we can improve. So there is a scope of changing and improvement in our kriyamana karma. Or if we respond negatively, then we will blame and the inaction may continue, and again we fall into the cycle of future lives. So if you are traveling in a second class train while traveling to Delhi due to unavailability of the first class tickets, that's your prarabdha. Suppose if not getting the ticket of first class, you're bound to travel in the second class. So there's some kind of inconvenience that you go through. There's a discomfort. So in those situations, you have two options. Either to adjust to a situation with patience and chant Mahamantra and then read divine books, or you resentful and then blame your destiny and blame the environment, blame the train, and engage in sense gratification. So there are two choices always. So if we respond in a positive way, chanting will minimize the prarabdha, the discomfort that we are going through, and helps one going back to Godhead and develop Krishna Prem. But if we respond in negative, then we will blame and then we'll continue in the cycle of creating a bad karma again and again. So another example is constant failures in interviews, no job. So this is again due to your prarabdha. You are deprived with challenges in career growth. So in this, two choices to either we take care of our career, study, prepare, spiritually become strong, stay mentally strong, and never give up, or negatively, if we choose to neglect career and become depressed, we turn to harmful habits. So further, then we will create a wrong karma. So if we do it in a positive attitude, then it can lead to strength, inspiration, and better karma. Or if we do it in negative, then negative responses will come and it will worsen the career in creating the new suffering. So constant health issues since birth. We might observe some people facing constant health issues ever since they took birth. So this is again, it's genetic illness. It is because of prarabdha. So there you have two choices. Take care of the body, follow the treatment and become mentally strong, or neglect health, become depressed and turn to harmful habits and blame the God or destiny. Kriyamana karma again in this results to positive attitude, can lead to strength, inspiration and better karma, and negative response can worsen the health and create new sufferings. So sometimes we may see that we have a toxic family environment. In that also we have free will, how we respond to that situation. We learn from it or seek therapy or build a better life for yourself and others, try to correct it, or repeat the same behavior and hurt others or develop bitterness. So, healing leads to growth and break the karmic cycle, and repeating harm adds to karmic burden. So, sometimes we encounter that there is a job loss suddenly. So, we are fired from the job. This is circumstances beyond our control. This is because of our prarabdha. In this, we have two choices. Either we utilize the time to upskill, apply elsewhere, and stay positive, or we complain, lose hope, or act out of anger and do some bad actions, bad karma. So, good karma, if we do by upskilling, then we attract positive choices and new opportunities. If we respond with negative, then negative choices closes future opportunities. So likewise in financial stabilities and being insulted or betrayed by others in front of others, these are all because of our prarabdha. So in those situations we need to use our free will, divine knowledge to choose how we respond in a positive or a negative. So that positive or negative how we respond will create the further kriyamana karma. So this is how all the situations of lives are purely based on our prarabdha karma. Now, with this, we understand that every individual living being, so free will is something which Krishna never interferes with anybody. So Krishna doesn't interferes, or Krishna is not at all the responsible for any of the situations that we go through in our life. It is purely because of our prarabdha karma of past lives karma that we arrive to certain situations, people, health, wealth, family, etc. But in that situation which we are into now, we cannot change anything completely. But we have a free will either to act in a right way, which are mentioned in the scriptures, or act it in a wrong way and further create more bad karma and then get trapped into the cycle of birth and death and again take the new birth. Right? So, kriyamana karma is something which is total in our control. What are different types of kriyamana karma we can choose to perform is where we have to focus now. So what has gone wrong is gone wrong. Now what is in the present is our kriyamana karma. So what kind of karma we have to do, we need to understand that. So three types of karma action are: first is karma, that is good karma. Karma preliminarily means actions done in accordance with the scriptural regulations, performing one's prescribed duty. Good reactions, still material. That means karma in general terms here means that we are performing our day-to-day activities by following the laws of God, the rules and regulations of the God mentioned in the scriptures, without doing any sin or pap. So we get the good reactions also in future. Second is vikarma, that is bad karma. This is forbidden actions performed against scriptural regulations. That means we are breaking the laws of Krishna, the rules and regulations mentioned in the Shastras, and if we perform this vikarma, we get the bad reaction. Again, this vikarma is also material. Karma is also material. Third is akarma. Akarma means there is no karma in that involved, meaning we do the actions but there is no reaction to it, either good or bad. There is no reaction. That means we make our complete karmic account to zero. We bring the whole karmic account to nil, zero. We clear it off because these actions are carried out for the pleasure of Supreme Lord Krishna. So we do everything as a devotional service to Krishna. So thereby it frees from karmic cycle of birth and death, and it is completely spiritual. So let us understand with an example. So karma means you're driving your vehicle by following the signals, traffic rules. You're following properly and driving safely. So this is just a natural way of following the rules and regulations. So good actions performed by following the laws of scriptures. Here we do not have actively involved as a connection to Supreme, but we do or act in this world according to certain rules in a proper ethics. So thereby we attract good results. So working as per ethics for our personal gain, feeding the poor and needy, and social philanthropic activities like social service and donations, etc. So with this we get the pious material credits. Now these pious credits, now to experience that good credits, we again have to take a new body, new birth, and again experience those good results. So that means it is still binding us to the cycle of repeated birth and death, because we are still doing the material good activities. So material good activities will attract good reactions. For that good reactions to bear, we have to again take birth in this material world in the new body. Second is vikarma. Vikarma is bad karma, that is forbidden actions, breaking the signals, rules, and regulations of traffic authority, resulting in bad results. So you will get penalized. So this is vikarma, which is forbidden, which is breaking the rules and regulations in doing our karma. So vikarma, forbidden actions performed by breaking the laws of scriptures. For an example, killing the animals for the food, and robbers in the bank, they're robbing the money and killing the animals, gambling and illicit sex, so and smoking, intoxication. These are all forbidden, which are mentioned in the scriptures as a forbidden actions, as a vikarma, which one should never be doing it, because the end result of that is that we get the bad reactions of that. So to experience that bad reactions, again we accept new body after death to experience that bad results, bad reactions. Thus, this vikarma also binds in the cycle of repeated birth and death. So karma is, because it is on the material plane, vikarma because it is on the material plane, karma is good activities, good reactions, vikarma is bad activities, bad reactions. Both of them actually have to be born again in the body and experience those good or bad results. Third is akarma, is purely a devotional service to the Lord. Example, become the part of the government itself in serving. Unlike in example we have seen, somebody was driving following the signals, and in vikarma somebody was breaking the signal, and in akarma somebody is becoming directly the part of the government itself, who is setting up the rules of traffic and serving the government in preserving and maintaining the laws. So that means we are working for government. So that is the devotional service, that the Supreme Lord that we are working for. So akarma is actions carried out for the pleasure of Supreme Lord. Akarma refers to the concept of action that does not produce material bondage or reaction. Akarma, actions that are aligned with divine will or performed in pure devotion to Lord Krishna, that they do not result in any material reaction or binding. These actions are done without any attachment to the fruits. Hence, they are considered beyond the normal rules of karma, because all our karma that we do as akarma is actually we are doing devotional service. Everything we are offering it to Krishna. We are doing it for the pleasure of Krishna. We are not attached to any results, any situations of our life. This teaching is the key understanding akarma, where a person performs their duties in the spirit of renunciation and devotion. We are not attached to the results. We do it out of devotion to the Lord without being entangled to the results. It's about surrendering the fruits of one's actions to the Krishna and doing everything with love and devotion, not for material rewards. So we do everything for the pleasure of Krishna with love and devotion, not getting carried out for the results, not for any material rewards. So the difference is that karma is a good action, vikarma is forbidden action, akarma is selfless action. So example, as we spoke, follow the rules, break the rules, and become the part of the government. So the end result of karma and vikarma is, karma is good, but still you're again have to take birth and get trapped in the birth and death cycle to experience that good or bad results. Vikarma is a worst life. In the next life, again you will be bound in the cycle of birth and death. So karma vikarma actually puts you again into the same cycle of birth and death. But our goal of human life is to get out of this chain of birth and death cycle of 8.4 million species. Hence, we need to choose akarma, selfless action, completely becoming a devotional, surrendering everything to Krishna and doing our activities, which makes complete karma free life and ultimately gives us to liberation, that is moksha. So Sanchit Karma, as we discussed in summary, now let's look at it. Sanchit Karma is like a repository of the whole past life, many lifetimes of karmic account, good and bad. And some portion of Sanchit Karma is given to us in this present life as Prarabdha that we are living with. And then the next action that we are going to do, Kriyamana Karma. So in this Kriyamana Karma, the most determining factor is our free will and choices that we make. What kind of karma we choose to act, whether we want to do karma, vikarma or akarma. As we know, karma if we do, just like living a normal life without any connection to Supreme Lord Krishna, we just act for our selfish desires, but act in a good way, following the rules, which is nothing but just living for our selfish enjoyment, which will give us good results. But for that good results, we have to again take birth in a new body and experience that pleasure or happiness, which is ultimately binding us in the cycle of birth and death, which is not giving us the ultimate solution of coming out from the birth and death cycle. Vikarma, whereas it's a bad life again, and then we fall into again this cycle of birth and death. We need to accept another body to experience that bad reactions of what vikarma we did. Akarma is completely nullifying the karmic account of Sanchit Prarabdha, making it complete zero, and then live a karma free life. Because why we need to make karma free life? Because if we have karma, then we need to take birth again. So if we do not have any karma, that means we become karma free life. That means we have no more birth and death. It becomes a bhakti life, and then after death we directly go back home, back to Godhead, Goloka Vrindavan, to stay with our beloved Sri Radha and Krishna. So that is the goal of human life. So let us try to look at how Sant Tukaram, he lived a life dedicated to Lord, loving Lord, serving Lord, doing his responsibilities. At the end of the life, he was taken back home, back to Godhead. So this is the image where we can see here we can see the whole creation. This is one universe. This is material plane. This is one material universe. And from here we need to go back to here. This is our eternal home. Let us understand by zooming to get more understanding about how the material universe looks like. So here we are. This is called Bhurloka, Earth, where we are presently situated. So in one universe, we have 14 planets. Satyalok, Tapalok, Janlok, Maharlok, Svarglok, Bhuvarlok, Bhurlok. So these are hellish planets, these are heavenly planets. So those who are doing good karma, that is karma, they will get birth maybe in these planets, and they will come back to earth. Once that good pious deeds are experienced, they will again come back to earth. and accept the new body and then perform this. So from this Satyaloka to Patal Lok, this is entirely a material universe where one has birth and death. Nobody can escape from birth and death. One has to go through this birth and death cycle. So according to good or bad, we rotate amongst these planets. So this is one universe. Like this, n number of universes which are coming out from the body of Karno Dakshaya Vishnu. So this is one universe. There are innumerable universes that are present. So this is how we are here. This is Earth, and we are here. This is Bholo, Earth. So different other planets, lower planets, middle planets, and higher planets. This is one universe within which everything is there, and this is called the whole material universe. And beyond that is our eternal home. This is Goloka Vrindavan. This is where actually our eternal home is, Goloka Vrindavan, where we have to go. So the human life's goal is from earth here, by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by following the laws of Krishna Shastras, we have to perform akarma and perform devotional service, and then with Mahamantra, the thread of Mahamantra will take us back home, back to Godhead, and put us in front of our beloved Lord Radha and Krishna. So this is the whole purpose of human life. At the end, with this verse, we understand that Ahara Nidra Bhayamaitunamscha Samanyameta Pashubi Naranam Dharmo Hitesham Adhiko Vishesho Dharmena Hina Pashubi Samana. Both animals and men share the activities of eating, sleeping, sex life, and defending. They are similar activities between animal and human beings. But the special property of humans is that they are able to engage in spiritual life. Therefore, without spiritual life, humans are on the level of animals. So, humans are equal to animals if we do not inquire by using the special ability that is given to us to inquire about spiritual life, to inquire about who we are. We are spirit souls entrapped in these bodies, rotating in 8.4 million species, performing various karmas, good and bad, bearing the results. So, to break the chain of this birth and death cycle, we need to understand what is akarma, bhakti, and then take up the devotional service, do the right karma, and return back to Godhead. Thank you.